Okay.
Hold on. Just a second.
Okay.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Okay. Mark, are you ready for me yet?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Go
perfect.
right.
Okay. Okay, so Town of Pembroke Park, special commission meeting Monday, July 27, 2020, 6:00 PM, virtual meeting instruction notices. Can you hear me okay, or? Yes, okay.
Yes. Good.
Okay. Okay, just wanted to make sure, because I know you said I was low last time, but I'm still on the computer because that iPad ain't doing anything. It's still uploading from last month. Okay, so virtual meeting instructions. Notice is hereby given that the Town Commissioner of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida will hold a virtual special commission meeting utilizing communications media technology in accordance with Governor Ron DeSantis Executive Order 20-69 dated March 20th, 2020 pertaining to conducting local government meetings while under the public health advisory related to spread of novel coronavirus disease 2019. Special commission meeting Monday, July 27, 2020 from 6:00 PM. We are not going to 9 PM, just so you know. You can dial in using your telephone number. The toll-free number is 1-877-568-4106. That's 1-877-568-4106. Or if you'd like to pay the toll, it's 1-646-749-3129. That's 1-646-749-3129. The access code is 877-132-421. That's 877-132-421. 2 hours prior to the meeting, you can submit a text or voicemail at 954-707-9820. That's 954-707-9820. Any member of the public wishing to comment publicly on any matter, including items on the agenda, may submit their comments by email to the Deputy Town Clerk at townclerk@townofpembrokepark.com. That's TOWNCLERK@TOWNOFPEMBROKEPARK.com. All comments submitted by email that are read orally or 3 minutes less shall be read into the record. All comments submitted by email shall be made a part of the public record. If any member of the public requires additional information about this town commission meeting or has any questions about how to submit a public comment at the meeting, please contact Marlene D. Martell, Deputy Town Clerk, Town of Pembroke Park, 3150 Southwest 52nd Avenue, Pembroke Park, Florida, 33023. They can call City Hall at 954-966-4600, extension 235. That's 954-966-4600, extension 235. With that being said, we are going to Pledge of Allegiance. Who has a flag? Howard. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Cohen,
Here.
Commissioner DeVille,
Here.
Clerk Commissioner Jacobs,
Here.
Vice Mayor Clark,
Here.
Mayor Mohammed,
Here.
all present.
Thank you. Are there any deletions, additions, or withdrawals to the agenda?
Mayor, if I may, item 7F, I'd like to defer that. I owe Commissioner DeVille some additional options, and he had made some recommendations, and we're making those changes, but I didn't have them in time.
Okay.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I need to make a couple of additions.
Okay.
Okay, one, we have an emergency with the master lift station number 34. We need to increase the amount that's needed to do the estimated repairs, and that needs to be on there.
Okay.
And I guess I'll put down HR.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? Nope. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to accept the agenda with the additional changes. With the
I'm
additional-
sorry. I'm sorry, Mayor. Just did want to let you know, I uploaded 2 of the items. I uploaded on Saturday the civility ordinance, and I also uploaded the emergency powers. These are, I believe at this point, at this time, they're still for discussion. So that's why they've been uploaded. But again, like always, it's up to the commissioner's discretion.
Okay. Yeah, there was a change from what I submitted to you from Wednesday at noon. That's completely different than what I submitted to versus what was submitted afterwards. So there definitely needs to be some discussion.
Are you talking about the documents that you sent to Attorney Ryan?
The emergency powers, remember I sent my version of it on Wednesday at noon to meet the noon deadline?
Right, you send me all the pages under it, and then the email said that Ryan would clean it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I received. I didn't receive your version. What I received was all the that string of emails that had a number of different sections.
No, that was what I did. I just don't know what the 01s, 03s are. So that's why I left it the way I did, but I put in what I wanted in the resolution. So those 12 pages were 12 pages of what I wanted included into the resolution.
Yeah, I can, when that matter comes up, I can discuss the reason for the second version at that point when it comes up.
Okay. So, yeah. Okay, so, all right, so I'll entertain a motion to accept the agenda with the 2 changes, with the 2 additions. Unmute.
Motion made.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Approval of amended agenda, Commissioner, made by Vice Mayor Clark, seconded by Commissioner DeVille. Commissioner Cohen,
Yes.
Commissioner DeVille,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Clark,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes. Okay, item 7, town business, legal attorney contract for Mayor Mohammed. Attorney Ryan.
Mayor, wait, Mayor, you need to go back. It's public comments related to the agenda items.
Are there any public comments at this time?
No, Mayor, I do not have at this time. I don't know of anybody else.
Does anyone else have any public comments? Okay. Item 7, town business. 7A, legal attorney contract for Mayor Mohammed.
Okay, this is the matter where the mayor has requested that the town approve an agreement between her and the law firm of Levi Williams for to provide legal representation for her in matters related to interviews with the Office of the Inspector General, and she's asked that the commission approve the retainer agreement and pay as billed on a monthly basis. And the ordinance that establishes was back in 2018, ordinance 18-1003, which provides for any town officials, which includes not only elected officials but also town employees, when they're acting in their performance of their official duties while serving a public purpose. There's a couple different scenarios in which the attorney's fees can be applied. They're listed in the ordinance in states when legal expenses to officials who prevail in civil lawsuits would seek a relief against a respective official personally. Then also to provide reimbursement of legal expenses to officials who successfully defend against alleged ethics violations complained of which arise out of or in connection with performance of official duties. Next would be to provide reimbursement of legal expenses to officials who successfully defend against criminal charges filed against them by the state of Florida or parts to agencies arising out of in connection with the performance of official duties and while serving a public purpose. And this one would, under Mayor Mohammed she's asking that to provide reimbursement of legal expenses to officials who are subpoenaed or interviewed by another governmental office or agency or are called as a witness in litigation regarding the town for matters arising out of or in connection with the performance of official duties while serving a public purpose. The town official, the responsibility of the official seeking this is later addressed in the ordinance 2-278, saying that the official has to make a petition to the town commission. The town commission will then approve it and determine whether the town commission shall review the request, determine if the petitioner may retain an outside attorney. If so, determine the amount that will be paid for the outside attorney services. Also, this includes the responsibility. It shall be the responsibility of the individual to pursue and exhaust all avenues for reimbursement prior to filing for the above reference petition. So it's in this case the mayor is asking for the town to approve this retainer agreement as stated, and then but the mayor was. As I noted to you earlier last week, it was your responsibility to make sure you pursue and exhaust all avenues for reimbursement prior to filing the petition. So have you had an opportunity to check to see if there's coverage provided for legal services provided by, like, say, the League of Cities or another organization that might provide that, so the town had an alternative other than retaining outside private counsel?
Okay, number one, you didn't state that to me, but I did contact the League of Cities.
Okay.
And so the League of Cities actually does, here's what, this is Matt Kelly. He said, generally speaking, if an ethics proceeding is brought against a public official for actions taken within the officer's capacity, if the city pays for legal fees incurred by the city's public officers, the Florida Municipal Insurance Trust will reimburse 50% of legal fees paid to the attorney. This is subject to a $25,000 limit per governed action and an aggregate limit of $100,000. And that's
Okay.
from Matt Kelly over at the Florida League of Cities. He's the Assistant General Counsel. But he stated that the fees had to be paid directly from the city to the attorney in order for that to occur.
Okay. Then that would appear that you have complied with that requirement of the ordinance. Then in this case, it's up to the town commission to review the request and determine if they in fact want to approve the retainer agreement. And I think the appropriate way for us to begin this discussion would be for me to go ahead and read the resolution, have there be a motion to approve the resolution, then the commission can discuss the action. So it'd be a resolution of the town commission, the town of Pembroke Park, Florida, authorizing the town to enter into an attorney fee agreement with the law offices of Levi Williams, PA, authorizing the town manager to execute the agreement for and on behalf of the town, superseding conflicting resolutions and providing an effective date. Whereas Section 2-277 Pembroke Park Code of Ordinances provides the reimbursement and indemnification policy for legal expenses for town officials for various legal proceedings as described in the ordinance. And whereas Mayor Mohammed has requested that the town approve the authority to represent with the law offices of Levi Williams, PA, to provide legal representation for her for matters related to an ongoing investigation being conducted by the Office of the Inspector General. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, Section 1, that the town is authorized to make and enter into the authority to represent offices of Levi Williams, PA, to provide legal services for Mayor Mohammed for the Office of Inspector General investigation investigation of town-related matters. Said authority to represent being on file with the town commission, a town clerk, and by reference made a part hereof. Section 2, that the payments of the attorney's fees for the law office of Levi Williams for representation of Mayor Mohammed are subject to the provisions of Section 2-277E, Pembroke Park Code of Ordinances. Section 3, that all resolutions or parts of resolutions in conflict herewith being the same are hereby superseded to the extent of such conflict. Section 4, this resolution shall be enforced and take effect immediately upon its passage and adoption.
Motion to adopt.
Second. Discussion.
Go ahead, Ray. Go ahead, Jacob.
Chris, are you recommending paying up front and not reimbursement? Is that?
I'm not making any recommendation. This is the request of the mayor to have these fees be paid on an ongoing basis. Retain the services of law firm Levi Williams, and to pay him his firm monthly for the services provided with respect to this matter.
Okay, so the way our ordinance reads, it reads reimbursement for a reason on here. We don't know exactly what this is all about. It does say the mayor was implicated in this, and about 80% of the public records requests are more campaign or personal related, not town related. So I'm going to take the stance of saying I believe it would be misuse of town funds, taxpayer funds, to pay this up front and not reimbursement. We're all for covering, the stuff for the town, but I think it would be a gross misuse of tax dollars if we were to pay everything up front when it involved your campaign, and we don't want to hurt your campaign either in the process. So I believe this should be in a reimbursement, and we follow our ordinance as it is reimbursement after the fact.
Okay. So I am going to state that Section E of the ordinance actually states that a commission has the ability to ask for the legal fees to be paid on a monthly fee, which is what we discussed before, and which was why I asked for the exercise of Section E of of the ordinance. That is number one. Number two, campaign-related items go before the Florida Elections Commission. It does not go before the Broward Office of the Inspector General. The Broward Office of the Inspector General is the one who has sole jurisdiction over what is going on in the city, and the Florida Elections Commission has jurisdiction over anything and everything related to my campaign. In addition to that, if you see, the Office of the Inspector General is also requesting information regarding my BTRs for my law practice, which is not an item that the Florida Bar Association, which handles all mismanagement dealing with the bar license and being an attorney. So none of this is dealing with me on a personal level. All of this is dealing with me on a professional level as the mayor of the town of Pembroke Park. So that is number one. And it is unfair for me or any other commissioner or a person who works for the town to be subject to having to deal with this. In addition, if I pay out of pocket, the town will not get reimbursement from the Florida Municipal Investment Trust, the insurance trust. So I am going to just put that out there. That, as I stated before, number one, I asked for Section E, which is the monthly payment of the retainer agreement versus the reimbursement section, which is in our ordinance. Number two, this is not the Florida Elections Commission, nor is this the Bar Association, which I would take full responsibility for because that is part of my campaign or my professional license as an attorney, which I do not practice law in the town of Pembroke Park, nor does my bar license have anything to do with the town of Pembroke Park. But yet the Office of the Inspector General is asking for that information.
Okay, with that all said, the way it historically is done with this town is it's reimbursed. That's the way you two were both just reimbursed on the last time we went through this with Howard's and your legal fees. It was reimbursed after the fact.
Chris,
By doing it.
No, you're incorrect, and I'm going to correct you because my fees were paid directly to Levi Williams. Both times they were paid directly to Levi Williams. The only person that actually got a reimbursement was Vice Mayor Clark. Annette's legal fees were paid directly to Larry Davis. So in the past, the town has historically paid the attorney's fees directly, with the exception of Vice Mayor Clark.
So you paid, it was still reimbursed to the attorney after it was shown to be town related.
They billed the attorneys billed the city directly. Just
Yeah,
like
and-
the statement from the statement from the Florida Municipal Insurance for the Florida League of Cities is that the city pays the legal fees incurred by the city's public officer. The Florida Municipal Investment will reimburse 50% paid to the attorney. They said that they do not pay, if I pay, they do not pay the town back when the town reimburses.
But they do pay the town back for half of that was reimbursed.
No, they don't. The contract has to be with the town for legal services.
Okay, so then why did this all come before us in the past then with your legal fees and Howard's legal fees?
My legal fees are paid directly to the- my legal fees never touched my hands. No check was ever cut to me. The checks that have always been cut in the past have been cut directly to Levi Williams. The checks that have been cut in the past for Next Wexler went directly to Larry Davis. No checks touched my hands, nor did any checks touch Annette's hands. Howard was the only one that sought reimbursement.
I think the distinction that Commissioner Jacobs is trying to make is that they were paid after the fact and not during pending the.
That's the
matters.
point. I'm saying it was paid after the fact, not prior to. Like, again, we don't know what this is about. It does say in there that you were implicated. It also, these are about your personal business,
My personal business was
your
over
law
for the-
firm, your stuff like that. So that's not
but
town stuff.
That's not, guess what? I don't have a law license. My law practice has never been in the town of Pembroke Park. They're looking for something with the town of Pembroke Park. They're not looking for me. My practice has never been in Pembroke Park. It has been in Pompano Beach and Boca Raton. The Bar Association looks at my law practice. The Office of the Inspector General only deals with gross risk mismanagement of a public official in their public official capacity. This has zero to do with the law practice of Ashira Mohammed. Absolutely nothing. This has everything to do with the town of Pembroke Park. The same thing with the campaign. Florida Elections Commission. Molly in charge of the Florida Elections Commission. They're based out of Tallahassee. If any complaints have to do with my campaign, it goes to the Florida Elections Commission, Molly Donovan. Would you like their phone number?
I'm just, you know what? I'm still looking at
Only
this.
with the town of Pembroke Park with city-related matters.
I don't think it's legal to be paying for your attorney fees and then being reimbursed with taxpayer dollars. There's just something about that that just doesn't sound right. You know, it does not make sense. It is not sound appropriate, because if this is yours, you know, personally, then you're personally liable for it.
Personally, because they don't have jurisdiction over me personally. The Bar Association deals with grievances that deal with my bar license personally. The Elections Commission deals with my campaign for anything related to my campaign. The Office of the Inspector General inspects and deals with city-related business as my official title as mayor. The Bar Association isn't asking anything about anything because there is no bar issue. There's nothing personal about my license. And I don't practice law in Pembroke Park for them to be requesting my BTRs, my non-existent BTRs, because I've never practiced law in Pembroke Park, which is why the Bar Association isn't asking for any of this. This is the Broward Office of the Inspector General. Look up their charter, see what they investigate. Okay. Secondly, it's in our ordinance. All I'm asking for is what's in our ordinance, Section E of our ordinance that was passed, which is part of Florida statutes, by the way. You do have the option, and we went through this last time, of electing to either seek reimbursement or seek for a monthly retainer to be paid monthly.
Okay, well then, Chris, does this fall under the guidelines of the Florida statute, or is this not? For being paid up front versus reimbursement?
Fees can be paid up front. Okay. What's happened in the past is once the matters have been concluded then the individuals involved have asked for reimbursement, and that gives the town commission an opportunity to review what was investigated, what the results were, and then also as to whether the reason was the fees. And then that way, all the facts are before the commission, and they make the decision. In this case, the commission, this is unprecedented that anybody's asked for it in the upfront, but yes, it's permitted to have the funds paid on an ongoing basis. Now, the protection for the town is that in the event that the individual who's asking for the attorney's fees is found to be, I'll read it here. It's 2-277E. Officials may retain and may also request approval to retain outside counsel to be paid on a monthly basis to matters related to this section pursuant to section 111.07 for the statutes. However, any attorney's fee paid from public funds for any official who's found to be personally liable by virtue of acting outside the scope of his or her official capacity, or was acting in bad faith with malicious purpose, or in a manner exhibiting wanton and willful disregard of human rights, safety, or property, may be recovered by the town in a civil action against such individual 180 days after the conclusion of the civil action. Any attorney's fees paid for public funds for an official who's found guilty or pleads no contendere, and a criminal proceeding may be recovered by the town in civil action against such official after 108 days of the conclusion of the criminal proceeding. So in the event that if there was a finding that the actions were not in the performance of official duties while serving a public purpose, then those fees could be recovered in a civil action from the town against the person whose fees were paid. Does that answer the question you had?
Yep.
Unmute Howard. Or
Oh,
I see you.
trying to.
Okay. So has everybody gotten done vetting this and talking? Madam Mayor?
Got a
Madam-
question.
Go ahead, Ray.
I just want Attorney Ryan to clarify. So it is legal the way we're doing it, paying up front. And if she's found to be responsible, we can recover the cost of the fees, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So I'm gonna, Madam Mayor, is there any other discussion? Then I'm gonna make a motion that we approve the way you want to do it under what was that section?
There's a resolution pending, Vice Mayor.
Okay, so why don't you just call the question? The resolution pending for approval, right?
Yes.
That's correct.
Okay, so then.
At the outset of this, before the vote is taken, I would recommend that the mayor refrain from voting because there would be a potential conflict of interest with respect to voting on this matter, which would be a benefit, in my opinion.
Yes, I know. Thank you, Chris. Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Clark, seconded by Commissioner DeVille. Commissioner Cohen? Commissioner Cohen?
No.
Commissioner DeVille?
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Jacobs?
No.
Vice Mayor Clark?
Yes.
Tie vote. Motion dies.
Okay, so let's move on to the next item. Civility ordinance. Chris, you didn't include everything in there from the other city.
No, this was, I just had sent this, and I really didn't actually expect for this to be included in the on the agenda for today. This was just something that had been sent previously to the town commission. There have been a couple of matters that have been sent to the commission before for consideration, but they were not reviewed. So the civility, it's actually would be just a resolution approving the the policy for disability doesn't need to actually be in the resolution, in an ordinance form.
Okay,
But no,
so
you're right. But you are correct. It's not included in the manner, and it's not in the same format as the Belmont. This is just something that was sent previously.
Okay, but I want to get this passed sooner rather than later because we've been discussing this for probably about 5 or 6 years. All right, I'm gonna hand
And
you the
like I
gavel.
said though, but I say, Mayor, that this has been, we've presented several versions to the commission over the years, and none of them have been acted on. But I will draft the Belmont one in a resolution format that can be reviewed and approved by the commission.
All right.
If I could interject for just 1 second. Mayor, I apologize. When Chris went ahead and forwarded to me and we were looking at that resolution, that's why I uploaded it, because since it had already passed the deadline, if at least it was just a discussion and you would have an item before you to be able to look at it and have that conversation. So Chris, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. That wasn't my intent. It was only to have a document that the commission could have a discussion on, not really a vote, but you know, these items were not meant for voting. It was more of a discussion. Sorry.
Okay, no, these items have been brought up on the commission repeatedly to be called on for a vote so that we can adopt a policy. So, hopefully we can have it ready for the next commission meeting. Okay,
It will be. The next scheduled meeting is what, August 26th or something like that?
correct.
Okay.
Okay,
No, August 26th is the workshop, and we'll put it on for the workshop, but the actual commission meeting is September 9th, I believe it is. Yes, September 9th.
so, 7C, the emergency powers. As I stated, what I sent in was what I was looking for, but instead, I got something different, so.
Okay, Mayor, I'll respond to that. Yeah, the version you sent is kind of drafted in a manner where the mayor is the individual who issues emergency orders and is the person who's in charge of executing the town's emergency management plan. I was asked by Commissioner Jacob to give another version that where the town manager would be the individual who would have those duties and would be the person that executes the emergency management plan. It's a version that's employed by Broward County and a lot of other municipalities, and that's was they're both being presented for discussion purposes, and then the town commission can give direction as to which version they want to have, and then we can draft an ordinance which can be presented to the town commission for their consideration, and it will give the, you know, whichever, if this commission decides they want to have a mayor-centric emergency management ordinance, we'll go that direction. If they want to go with the town manager version, then we go in that direction. So this was kind of just to get the indication for the town commission, which direction they want to go. I understand that you made one choice of being a commission form of government where each commissioner has an equal say as to commission matters. I was obligated to prepare another version at the request of Commissioner Jacques.
Okay, so can you also prepare mine? So I just want to state for the record that even though Broward County, the administrator declares the emergency declaration as well as Dade County, the cities do not. So if you look at the 31 cities in Broward County, only 8 cities actually have the city manager declaring the emergency, and the rest of the 31 cities actually do have the mayors declaring them, and the mayors are responsible for stating them, which was why when I attached that original 66-page document, it showed all of the other cities to show that there was a consistent trend in the mayors setting the declaration, not the managers. And so if you'd like, I can actually also present a spreadsheet of all 31 cities where it shows that the mayors are the ones that are responsible for setting the declaration.
Yeah, and Madam Mayor, so what do you need? You need a motion. I'm going to make a motion that we follow your protocol, that you would be the emergency management contact
because I'm out in November.
No,
Remember that.
well,
I'm done.
then the next mayor, whoever it is. Okay, so I'm gonna make that motion that it would be the mayor. Responsibility.
I think we need some discussion over this.
Okay, I know Ray has his hand up.
Well, let's get a motion in a second, then we can have discussion.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, go ahead and have discussion.
No, I would just like to go over both to see which one I feel is better suited for the town.
Want to do that today versus taking the time to do it, but I would like for Chris to go ahead and actually prepare it in the proper format, the one that I did, versus, me just copying and pasting and leaving X's by what the section should be.
Right, and before I went through that exercise, Mayor, I wanted to find out what the commission's direction was going to be, and if the commission were tonight to say, let's go with the manager format, then that's the way we would go. If they would say commissioner manager, in response to Commissioner DeVille's inquiry, both of these would be relatively. They're going to be. It's going to be the same ordinance with the same power. And the same duties, emergency orders, and things of that nature. The key of this is who is going to be exercising that authority, whether it's going to be a manager or whether you're going to have the mayor do that. And that's really, after that is decided by the commission, then the portions that are favorable to the commission and either one we can merge them together and get an ordinance that's going to be address all the issues that are of concern to the commissioners, and then you'll have the direction being by whichever official you choose.
I made a motion that we follow the mayor concept, and we have a second. Now we're in discussion. You have to first deal with this. The direction would be go with and stay with the mayor.
Okay, I got my hand up for discussion here.
Go ahead.
Per our charter, it says we are a commission form of government, which all 5 commissioners have equal power. By putting the mayor forward in the emergency situation gives the mayor more power than the rest of the commissioners. The reason for having the town manager be the head on the emergency is in this case keeps all 5 commissioners still having equal power. So putting the mayor forward like that would be a violation of our own charter.
Okay, so the power of the emergency declaration has always been the power for the mayor, for whoever has had this position. This has been since the beginning of time, since this commission has started. We still are a commission form of government, but each commissioner is responsible for a separate division. So whereas you're in charge of the police powers, Howard's in charge of the public works powers, I'm in charge of administration, it's still, everyone's still one vote. Okay, we've always had that one vote, one person. But as far as the emergency declaration, the mayor is the head body of the organization. Okay, and we are an administrator form of government. Remember, we are commission form of government with a town administrator. Okay, so don't forget that little fact when you're having a discussion. All commissioners are the same in all the other cities as well. You have 31 cities, like I stated before. You can actually go and look up all the other emergency declarations. There's 31 cities. Only 8 of them are done by the manager. Out of the 31 cities, mind you, we're the only one that's actually a commission form of government. We're not a council manager form of government. So it's not putting the mayor, whoever that will become November 4th, over any other commissioner. That has been how it has been since the beginning of the town of Pembroke Park in the town's history.
Because it's, Madam Mayor, it's part of the charter, Jeffrey.
It is. It was just
yes.
clarifying.
The mayor is the ex officio administration executive. So that's why it should stay with the mayor as it has been with the charter. But still,
but it does not give
vote.
It does not give
vote.
That by doing this gives the mayor more power than the other 5 commissioners. It separates out the mayor from the other 5 commissioners. By keeping it with the town manager, it keeps it as all 5 commissioners have the same equal power as it's written in the charter.
I disagree 100%. The mayor is the ex officio administration in the charter, the written charter. So that's not true. We're still with the same power. Same power.
When Howard finishes, Gina, you can go ahead.
Same power, not giving her any more power, or any mayor, doesn't necessarily have to be a Shira. Any mayor in the future would have the same power as us. That's their job. Administration.
Mayor?
Go ahead, Gina.
Mayor? Okay. Well, I know in the past when Bob Levy was on board, and if you look at the old IG report, Howard, you've said this several times, and the mayor, he was in charge of the daily operations of the town. And if it came to the emergency things, he was always the man in charge. So I have to disagree with giving the mayor all the power. I think it should go to the manager, because the fact that he is there and he's there all the time, and mayor's going on vacation. And he's responsible for and you said it too, Howard, with the OIG. Our town manager is responsible for the daily operations. So he should have the power to, the emergency power.
But I believe, Commissioner Cohen, Madam Mayor, may I through the chair, Dr. Levy would always contact Mayor Lyons, Mayor Oglesby, whoever the mayor was at the time. He would call to ask, what direction do you want to go in, Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Or whatever. He was very
I'm sorry.
polite. He was diplomatic. He was very polite. He was always respectful. And so would you disagree or agree with that, Madam Mayor? Hurry up and swallow. You're on TV. Go ahead.
Oh my God, sorry. Repeat that whole statement, Howard. I'm sorry.
Okay. The past administrators would always pay their respect by calling John P. Lyons, Emma Shove, you, whoever was the sitting mayor, to ask them, what do you want to do at this time? You want to close town hall down? They would ask you to do that, right? Am I right or wrong?
They did. I used to have the authority and power to give people the time off during the Thanksgiving Day, the day before, Christmas Day before as well. Emma used to close down. Emma would give the girls off almost a week for Thanksgiving.
So they had the powers.
You know, those were all part of the powers of the person that was in charge of administration. Listen, this is what it is. If you look at the other cities, you know, the other cities, this is how it is. The power is there already. We tried to do this. I remember John was still alive the last time we brought this ordinance up. And at that time, Bob had tried to change it to make it so that he was responsible for the emergency powers, and the commission, all 5 commissioners voted it down when Bob tried to change it to do that, which was why it has not been updated since John was alive. And that was what, 2004, 2005. The only thing that I'm trying to do is bring it so that it has more teeth when we're trying to enforce the emergency declaration. And to broaden the scope of it, because of the fact that it only allows for a curfew, even though the state statutes, as well as taking it with the county administrator statutes, has broader terms of what should be included. And there are still things that weren't included, because biological disaster wasn't included, cyber warfare wasn't included. Those still aren't included, and I would like for us to have a comprehensive list. In addition, it discounted the public works director from being responsible for the emergency management that the public works director has always been responsible for in dealing with FEMA, as well as dealing with, you know, what pumps and things like that need to be dealt with. So I was just trying to give it more clarification so that we could kind of clean up our books so that we would be, you know, in modern times. That's what my goal was in doing it. As it stands, if we vote nothing today, or we vote nothing, it's still going to be the mayor is responsible for signing the declaration and issuing the declaration. Okay, right now, I'm just trying to clarify it and just to actually add more terms and definitions to it. Okay, and also to put a section in there. If you look at mine, I have a section in there for the Public Works Director to be responsible for actually doing the emergency management plan, which is something that we don't have on file that I've been screaming bloody murder about for the past 6 years. Because we don't have one, and that's one of the reasons that we have an issue with getting pods from FEMA with the county. So that's my whole goal, is trying to clean it up and trying to give it more teeth. Chris, as you stated, you wrote it based on Commissioner Jacobs, but yet you did not address the fact that I sent it to you with what I would like to have seen. And I kind of thought that was a little biased, in the sense that if we're all supposed to be equal commissioners and asking for something, why is it that we're not all equally getting what we're asking for?
Yeah, well, the reason I said that is that one version was just to put out the town manager, and once the decision is made, then everything will be incorporated into the final ordinance, so that all the portions that you want will be included, and no matter which one we use, depending on just who the choice was. So it's not a final version, as the clerk said at the beginning, it's for discussion purposes.
Go ahead, Commissioner Jacobs.
Okay, in here, under section 5, section 2, 104, powers, duties, and responsibilities. Under A, it says to declare a state of emergency pursuant to section 2, 105, provided, however, to the extent of the possible under the circumstances, in the public announcement of such declaration shall be made by the mayor together with the manager to promptly file with the town commission a certificate showing the emergency and its necessity for such action.
That's fine, but if you look at the entire rest of the resolution, are you looking at the new one that Chris wrote?
That's the one in my hand.
Okay, so what about the whole rest of the document, the whole rest of the pages? That's number one. So we'll have further discussion on this. We're not gonna have it tonight, but we'll have further discussion on this because, well, Howard did make a motion and Ray did.
I made a
second.
motion to go in the direction of keeping it the way we've had it, the way the charter expresses it, and the way that we should go, and that's with the mayor as the one that is in charge of emergency management, the way you have it. That's what's on the table.
Because we can't hear. When we did ask Newell to help with the emergency declaration, he actually shut down our parks and did not want to close City Hall, and also keep the bathrooms open and things like that. And it wasn't in the best interest of our staff. And I think that it's important that we have someone who actually lives in the town that knows what the residents want and needs are, that are closest to those residents when we're setting up these things. Another thing that I will state is that we have mayor's calls. Whoever the mayor is, there are mayor's calls, and the mayors actually do a coalition where they work together when they're putting out these declarations, and there are no managers on those calls. So that information would kind of fall to the wayside if you have somebody else doing those declarations.
To me? Okay.
I don't know. Gina had her
And-
hand up first,
Oh,
and then
okay.
you had your
Okay.
finger up. I'm not sure.
I just remember when Bob Levy was there, he always had this, he was the final one. He made the final decision. All right.
Look through the.
Well, that's
look-
not what you told the OIG. I mean, he was the one that always had the final decision.
Look on those old declarations, Gina.
I will.
John used
This
to
is
do those-
just discussion, but I
Yeah.
will.
John
Thank you.
used to do those declarations.
Pardon?
John used to do those declarations. Emma did them as well. And you were here for Emma. Okay. You have a motion on the floor in a second.
So call the roll, Madam Mayor.
Can you repeat the motion, please?
Okay, the motion is that that the town attorney is directed to proceed in the direction as the mayor being the emergency management person, contact, whatever, not contact, be person.
Ray, did you have anything else?
No, I still didn't fully understand.
Okay, Ray,
Is
the
that
motion,
draft?
the motion would be